everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Richard and this is the Full Photography YouTube channel, and today we're going to have a look at something a little bit different. There are many videos on how to use the Boss VE-22. I've been using it a good few months now for gigging, but only very basic functions. But what I wanted to do today was just go through how to set up different effects for different songs. I use an application called LyricPad 3, and that has all my lyrics on there. It has all the chords for my friend who plays guitar and does background vocals, harmonies, but I don't really understand all the nuances of this. So with the help of Google Gemini, I have come up with a way of helping you pre-program songs. So obviously this is your bass unit, and there are lots of pre-programmed effects, harmonies and echoes, all that sort of thing, and then there are lots of user banks as well. So I'm going to go to a spare user bank and program into here. So you can see I've already done a few, just very general things here. So I shall start a screen record on my tablet. So we're going to use, obviously AI will only get you so far. You kind of need to give it information, and the best way I found to do that is to actually upload the actual manual. So I go into my files here, user manual, and then I will ask it here if I pasted something I wrote earlier. So the song we're going to do is Queen, Don't Stop Me Now. What I find is awfully useful is if you find out the BPM of the song you're playing, because for harmonies and for delay effects it likes to use specific beats per minute, so that helps it work it out for you. So I've written here, with the attached manual, please help me create a preset for Queen, Don't Stop Me Now, with a BPM of 156. I usually sing with a chap who does the harmonies and background vocals. So if you're singing on your own, you can use the harmony setting. If you sing with somebody who's already doing those harmonies, you can turn it off. So it gives you them options. So here we go. So it's writing it out here. There. So you've got to do a couple of things to begin with. So again, we're going to write to this one, and the first thing you want to set up is the beats per minute. So you go into your menu, so you press your menu button twice. No, you don't. You press it once, and that goes to your settings, and it's the memory setting you want. So these three columns correspond to these three buttons, so you can see how they're all underlined there. To move down, you turn your memory switch here, and to get into each individual setting you press the button. So this is your echo button, which corresponds to the third. So we're going to memory settings, and we want to change that BPM up to 156. So again, this column, first one, I always forget, so 156 beats per minute, and that's all you need to do. So you can come out of that, exit, and then the next thing it wants to do is the volume and output level and BPM hold off, so you can just ignore them. So now dynamics, this is where you do want to go into this. So you can see it's black there, and it's got a little arrow pointing to that, and you can push it twice to enter your dynamic settings. So we want the switches on, we want the enhance around it. These are all suggestions, by the way. Once you've set it up, you can try it out for yourself, and if you need to dial anything in, you can do, and that's the beautiful thing about it. It just gives you a really good starting point if you don't know where to go in the first place. So we've got the enhance is 60, so the enhance adds clarity to your vocal, so we'll go up to 60. The comp button, which is your compression, you want to set that to about 50. That helps smooth out the voice and the vocal sound. De-esser, it reckons for about 30. Obviously again these are all tunable to your own singing styles. Your noise suppressor to 30, so I've got it down at 50 there, we'll change it down. So these settings are all preset from the original preset that's you're loading it on top of. And then your EQ, so we'll go down further. So your level will stay the same because that's your normal level. Low gain, it reckons +2 dB. Mid gain, drop it down 1 to -1 dB, and your mid frequency is 1.6 kilohertz, which is around there. And high gain about +3 dB, and that's your dynamics. So now you can set up your harmonies. So we'll exit out of that. Quick way to get into your harmony effects, etc. It's same as this, it's a push twice to enter the settings for each of them. So we're doing the harmony, so we'll double tap, and that brings us into this. Now because I usually sing as a duo, I'm going to leave the default as off. If you are a solo singer and you want this setting on to begin with, you can turn it on. Let's go back on there. But I will be leaving it off, so the default will be off for me, and if I want to do harmonies I can turn it on myself. So type of harmony, this is suggesting doing manual, so this is very tunable. This gives you the most control over combining different harmony effects. So the key is really important. You need to know the key your song is in, because that's how your harmonies work. It links to the harmonies you're singing, otherwise it'll sound very off. Now the AI does pick out what key the song is in and will suggest you use that. Double check if you are using a capo, if you're on guitar, if you're changing the key to sing it higher or lower, just be mindful of that. So just be aware of the key you're actually singing in. We haven't changed this at all, so we're singing in the original key. So as you can see, it's already on C to A minor, but there are plenty of other keys you can use there. So then your effect level, bring that down to 50. Your D level, which is your direct level, that's what goes into your source, so leave that at 100 because it makes sure your vocal is at full volume. So this is where it gets a bit, not complicated, but as you go through it you'll understand what each section means, and this helps kind of educate you around all the different sections. So your manual harmonies, so you want your voice 1, a third below your main vocal. So we'll change that to 3. Obviously you can change these, you can have it as a third above if you want to double your voice or add additional higher harmonies. So V1 pan, center or slightly panned if you want to create wide stereo, so you can have your left side panned further. This one, you can have it panned further to the left, and then when you move down to the right side you can pan that one further to the right. So they're pannable. I like to pan mine to about 50. Vocal 1 level about 40, because you don't want it to be too overpowering. Then your vocal 1 delay 2 gives you very light delay, so it makes it sound less synthetic. So when two people sing together, not always exactly singing at the same time, are they? So you're not exactly tuned up. So again, accuracy 0 to 5 is usually around, it's a bit more of a believable scale, whereas 5 to 10 that's kind of your more synthetic, kind of robotic kind of feel. Vibrato, we don't want any vibrato, so we'll leave that. V1 Formant, so this is setting at -10, gives us this. So again, it's from 0 to plus 50 and to -50. So the lower you go, the more male the harmony will sound, and the higher you go, the more female the voice will sound, or the more masculine and more feminine, higher pitched, lower pitched. So if you're doing more than 2 voices, you can do one as a male voice and one as a female voice, so it gives you lots of range there. So I'm gonna go higher because it's a Queen song. It does say to leave it at go -10. We'll put it at +10. Tone, leave it at neutral, and depth, that's kind of normal, is kind of where you want to be. Deep, it's kind of, that's how strong I think the voice would come across. So normal is more than fine. Voice 2, pardon me, we can, I think, so it says you can enable this if you want additional automated harmony beyond your live singer. So if you want a big Queen-like chord, so we will set a voice 2 up. So we'll go a 5th above, and we'll pan it to 50. The V1 level was set at about 40, wasn't it? So okay, get that the same. Delay, again about 2. Accuracy down to a 3. No vibrato. We will go lower this time. Leave the tone, and the depth we'll put at normal. So that's your harmony. And to kind of lock that in, you just double tap harmony again, and you'll see it says assigned to harmony. So then you'll just exit out of that screen. So now you're back on your thing. Don't worry about the name, we'll change the name later. But you can see it's got the manual with the V2 delay, etc. So you can adjust that on the fly with the knob by pressing and holding, and you can change things, but we're fine with that as it is. So next we're going to go into the effect. So effects kind of vary. Not many, you might not use an effect on many things. You might add some distortion, but only very slightly, just to kind of add a bit of colour and character to your vocal. But for this, it's a bit of chorus it's after, it's suggested. So if we don't stop me now, a touch of chorus or flanger could emulate the subtle modulation sometimes heard in Queen's laid lyrics, laid vocals. So let's go with chorus for spaciousness. So we'll double tap to get into there. So the type it wants is chorus. So there's pitch correct, short delay, chorus, flanger, phaser, vibrato, distortion plus chorus. But we just want a bit of chorus. So there we go. So mode is stereo for a bit of a wider feel. A rate of 30 they've suggested, with a depth of 40. So it's enough depth, not to be noticeable, but not overwhelming. Then your E level is your effect level, so you don't need it to be very overpowering, so down to 30 is fine. And a pre-delay of about 10 milliseconds. Lovely. Then a low cut is flat, high cut is flat, you can change them. And your direct level, leave it 100. Okay, so that's your effect. So double tap to lock that in. Exit out. And now into the echo. So for echo, we go into it. So echo is kind of your reverb setting. So it's got all the settings. So here we've got like just for ambience, room, hall, plate, delay, and then it'll mix them up as well. So you've got delay plus ambience, delay plus room, delay plus hall. So on this one it has suggested using delay plus hall. Obviously we've got the switch already set to on. So level of about 70 it suggests. So we'll go down to there, we'll up it to 70, so it's a nice, that'll ring out nicely. Again, I might reduce that because I play in smaller bars and clubs and pubs, should I say, so I don't need massive amounts of reverb and echo. But again, you can adjust it on the fly as you go. You can preset it if you know the venue you're at. Master level, leave this at 50. This is your global setting, and so keep it as a default, unless you find you need more or less echo across all your presets. So then we're going down into the actual echo setting. So your delay type, it's suggesting as pan. This is for a stereo delay effect. If you're only plugging into a mono speaker, you don't really need that. Just keep it as a single. So time delay. So time. So this should be relative to your BPM. So you can experiment with note lengths. So again, so delay time. So 156 beats per minute. Your delay feedback is a 40. Moderate repeats, not too overwhelming. So you want your low cut and your high cut again as flats, so you can turn them off. We'll turn that one up. Your delay level of about 50. So that adjusts to the prominence of the delay. Yeah, I don't know what that means either. If you do, let me know in the comments down below. Then we have reverb time, which is about 2.5 seconds it's suggesting on here, which is good length for a spacious hall reverb. Then your pre-delay for reverb is around 50 milliseconds. Crank that up a little bit, back down. And then you're onto your low cut of about 160 Hertz, which it's on. High cut 8 kilohertz, which it's already on. Density to 7, so your density makes the reverb, gives it that richness. And then your reverb level, we want that at around 60. So adjust to how much reverb you want to hear. So that's your reverb level. So again, I'm going to drop that a bit because I don't need that. Where I sing, I don't need too much. And then we lock it in by double tapping. So there we go, and we'll come back out. So now that's everything set, ready to go. So you can see the lights on for echo. You can turn it on, turn it off. And the lights correspond to the colours as well. So blue, blue, etc, etc. So we want the effects and the echo on for this. So now we're ready to write it to the slot. So we'll press both of these buttons at the same time. And now to delete these, I was going to the end and deleting by pressing and then deleting and pressing, but you don't need to do that. Go to the beginning and just multiple press that button. And then just name it however you want. So I will see how far I get with writing it out the full way. I like it in caps, it just stands out a bit better on your pedal when you're looking down if it's on the floor. I'm not going to bother with apostrophes. Sue me. Don't steal. Don't stop me. N-O. Sorry, spelling issues. N-O-W. That is bloody perfect. Don't stop me now. And to execute, press enter, which is this memory button here. And there it is. Okay, so that is a nice little way of doing presets. If you've no idea what you're doing, just ask AI. I don't know what it'll do on ChatGPT or other AI services. I use it with Google Gemini. I get that along with my phone I've got. But yeah, just give it a go, see what you think. Obviously we've not heard it because it's late at night and I've not got anything plugged in, so I may do another video just to show you how it sounds, and then if it sounds terrible we can dial it in, but as a baseline and as a stopgap and a start, I think it's a great place to begin with. If you're not au fait with the pedal like me, and you don't really know what you're doing like me, then it's a great help. Otherwise, I've been Ricardo. This has been a Full Photography production and all that nonsense. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you very much.